Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the third and the final part on legislation. Before wrapping up the previous video, we were discussing about vehicle insurances and the different types of insurances available in the Netherlands. The next topic in the pipeline is about driving licenses. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it. You must have your original undamaged driving license in your possession at all times when operating a vehicle. If you are stopped by an authorized person, such as a police officer, you must show the officer your license if asked. The reason for this is because your driving license consists of your social security number, which is called the BSN, which can often serve as identification. Speaking about driving licenses, there are a number of categories that you can apply for. They are AM driving license, A driving license, B driving license, E with B driving license, C1 and CE driving license, C and CE driving license, D1 and D1E driving license, D and DE driving license, and lastly, T driving license. Let's talk a bit about the AM driving license. Basically, this is the driving license required to drive mopeds, snorfietsen, speed pedelecs, and brommobilen. In order to obtain this license, one has to pass a theory test and a driving test. For the A driving license, which is typically a motorcycle driving license, this is categorized into three. They can be A1, which is for the least powerful motorcycle, A2 for medium power, and lastly A for the most powerful ones. The B driving license is basically what these videos are about. So for the passenger car license, this license qualifies us to drive all passenger cars up to a maximum authorized mass of 3,500 kilograms. It should be also noted that not more than 8 passengers, excluding the driver, are permitted in the vehicle. We are also allowed to pull light trailers with this license. Now, if people want to pull heavier trailers and combinations than what is permitted in the B license, then they should opt for an E with B driving license. C1 and C1E driving licenses are driving licenses that are required to operate light lorries and commercial vehicles with a maximum authorized mass between 3,500 and 7,500 kilograms. The C and E are basically licenses that qualify people to drive heavier lorries. The D1 driving license is required to drive smaller buses of up to 8 meters in length with a maximum of 16 passengers, excluding the driver. Similar with the previous instances, the D1E driving license refers to the possibility of pulling heavier trailers. Similarly, the driving license D is valid for larger buses such as coaches and public transport buses. These may be longer than 8 meters and carry more than 16 passengers. Similar to the previous instance, the E driving license is also required in addition to the D. The T driving license is required to drive on public roads in an agricultural or forestry tractor or a motor carriage with limited speed. There are few exceptions to the driving license requirements. A driving license is not required for certain motor carriages. These are a special moped, a small agricultural or forestry tractor with limited speeds, motorized disabled vehicles, and obviously during a driving lesson or a mock driving test. Generally, driving licenses have a validity of up to 10 years. This generally applies to licenses for mopeds, motorcycles, vehicles, and light lorries. For larger vehicles, the driving licenses are valid only for 5 years. Let's talk a bit about the scope of the driving license B that we are interested about. So, a passenger car driving license permits us to drive a passenger car, but also to tow a trailer with that car. However, maximum weight limits do apply. So, you are eligible to tow a trailer with a maximum authorized mass of 750 kilograms or less with the B driving license. This can be done even if the maximum authorized mass of the car and the trailer combined exceeds 3,500 kilograms. But what if you are in a situation where the trailer weighs more than 750 kilograms? What do you do then? In such a situation, it is possible to tow the trailer with a B driving license. This is possible when the maximum authorized mass of the combination of the car and the trailer does not exceed 3,500 kilograms. Now let's consider an extreme situation where the trailer weighs more than 750 kilograms and the combination of the car and the trailer weighs more than 3,500 kilograms. Then what can be done? The answer is simple. Your B driving license can no longer accommodate such a combination. To drive this combination, you must have an E driving license as well as a B driving license. Next, let's talk about traffic signage. Various traffic control methods are used to maintain safety on public roads. They are traffic signs, markings on the road, and traffic lights. Traffic signs can sometimes indicate an obligation, a prohibition, or just a suggestion. This right here is a traffic sign that indicates an obligation. So in this particular instance, you are required to maintain the speed that is shown on such a traffic sign. This is a traffic sign that usually indicates a suggestion. So in this particular instance, it is suggesting you to travel at this particular speed, and you are in no way obligated to follow this rule. And then we have this traffic sign which indicates a prohibition, basically a no entry. Sometimes traffic signs can also indicate dangers. So you can come across such a traffic sign or such a traffic sign or even like such. Traffic signs such as these often provide information, and they are usually denoted by being rectangular and blue in color. Sometimes if a regular traffic sign does not provide sufficient information about what is or is not allowed, you will come across a supplementary plate placed underneath the main traffic sign. For example, they can provide a detailed explanation of the traffic sign itself. It can also provide information on the dates and times when the traffic sign is valid or invalid, or it can indicate road users or driving behaviors which do not apply to the traffic sign, which is usually written as uitgesonderd. Then we have something called zone signs. Zone signs are a bit different than standard traffic signs. The word zone indicates that the sign remains valid until you have left the zone, which is usually indicated by the end zone sign. Lastly, we come to road surface markings. Markings on the road are used to clarify situations such as directives or prohibitions. They can be solid white lines, blocked or checkered markings next to bus stops, solid and broken yellow lines on the edge of the carriageway or on the curbs, solid blue lines on the edge of the carriageway, temporary yellow lines or markings, indicated parking spots, usually by the letter P, pedestrian crossings or also known as zebra crossings, hatched road markings and dividing points, pre-sorting lanes with arrows indicating the direction, stop lines, also called as yield lines, priority triangles or shark's teeth, and lastly, bus lanes. Markings on the roads are generally used to guide traffic by indicating what is expected of road users. They may be also used to remind drivers of applicable speed limits or indicate other circumstances. Speed bump markings make speed bumps easier to see, and other lines indicate whether you are entering or leaving a zone. So with this, we have completed the chapter of legislation. This has completely drained the energy from my body, and I am so looking forward to the next section, which is called vehicle knowledge. If you have failed to see the first part of this video, please click the pop-up right here so that you do not miss any information on this topic. If you like the content that I am putting out, please like and share my videos with your friends and family, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, bye bye.